Hi, welcome to Adulting is Overrated, and I am your host, Sia. Today, we're going to have a dope episode with a really good friend of mine. As you could tell, my voice is already gone. It's bank holiday. We were turning up yesterday at Carnival, but I could not leave you guys without an episode this week. So we're going to chop it up with one of my good friends, as I said, who has completely turned his life around 360. He's also quite a familiar face. He's done a lot of content before with me. And he was recently on Trend Central talking about his experience of finding out his daughter was not his biological daughter. So tune in. There's going to be lots of gems today, lots of laughs, of course. And if you're not already following, as I said last time, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, love me, like me, all the good things. This is Adulting is Overrated Pod. Welcome to Adulting is Overrated Podcast. I am your girl, Sia. If you are new here, before we go any further, make sure you like, subscribe, all the other stuff. You know what? I actually said I wasn't going to do that when I started the pod because it's so repetitive and I know all the girlies say it, but it's actually the truth. Like, subscribe and all that good stuff. If you were here, episode 1, thank you for coming back. We're outside. So this is a new podcast. If you don't get it from the title, Adulting is Overrated. And we're talking about everything adulting, highs and lows, and just having laughs at the same time. It's really about just being authentic, you know? And today we have a good friend of mine joining the pod. And I think that this is a really special episode because it's not just like a guest, right? Is that my friend? And also like our friendship has seen many dynamics based on like our lives and how life has gone like full circle. So yeah, guys, this is Corey. Yeah. That's him all the time. Yeah, guys. This is the friendly giant.
Calm and collected.
Yeah, at all times. Well, go on.
Just, man.
Yeah. Corey pulled up half an hour late, by the way, guys.
Do that.
Just letting you know. And he's normally a very timely person, so I'm very shocked. But it's okay, we're gonna let you off.
I apologize.
Only because you're a business owner, that's why I'm gonna let it slide.
I appreciate that.
But how have you been? How's adulting treating you?
It's been doing this stuff. Work is long, tedious. It's just trying to find an even balance, you know? But yeah, no, it's very tough.
What's making it tough for you at the moment? Because I know like everybody has their own. Sorry, guys. Can I just say, guys, today, yeah, if you see me constantly just shimmying down, it's because I decided to wear a skirt like a harlow. And I went to, now I moved the chair. And I went to Carnival yesterday and I was still in the spirit of Carnival when I put this outfit together.
Yeah.
I didn't really think through that like I was going to be sitting down. So that's just a heads up. But sorry, yeah, what's tough about it? Because I guess that we all have like what's hard for us in this season. So what's your...
I would say on the business front, it's just managing everything. There's a lot of moving parts. So whether it's clients wanting an invoice, whether it's managing them, then you've got my staff, making sure they've got materials. I could be on a job. They're constantly calling me. That's taken away from my productivity. Yeah. I need to go home. My day's not over.
Yeah.
Need to then organize for the next day, send more invoices, send emails, organize.
It's giving adulting. Yeah, but like on a different spectrum, I guess, like as a business owner as well. And as a dad.
Yep.
And as a black handsome man that's outside, clean. We see the fit. And I saw you on Trend Central. I said, okay then, stepper, come in. So for those of you that don't know Corey, or like you might have seen Corey before, we were on season 2 and 3 of Backchat London together, and that's how we met.
Good times.
Yeah, and it feels so long ago, innit?
It does. To be fair, it was.
Looking
at 7-8 years ago now.
Oh my God. Do you still get stopped in the street and people are like, I know you?
You know, yeah, but it's like they don't know where. It's like, I know you. But you see me, I've got to the point where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. Like, I don't know.
Because then you're going to be like, oh yeah, Backchat. And like, oh my God, yeah. It's like, yeah, that was so long ago. I've actually done so much more than that. So I hear you. How did you get on Backchat? How did you even find out about it?
I'll be honest with you, I do not remember. I don't remember.
Did you go audition?
All I remember is I was at the audition. I remember talking to Gabby, and I was in contact with Gabby. That's all I really remember. But when there was the audition, when there were so many people coming down, I was there.
Yeah.
But it's like I kind of got like a bit of a cut through.
A bring-in.
Yeah.
What was the best part and the worst part of Backchat for you?
Best part, I would say just being able to have those debates.
Yeah.
But I would, take that back. Scrap that. I would say the kind of family we kind of built.
Yeah.
At the time, it was
crazy,
cool. Yeah,
innit?
It was a vibe. It was
Yeah.
It was.
What was the worst part for you?
Worst part, I would say, also at times, when you get those negative comments, it's like someone that's like, shut up, man.
You don't know me though. If you see me on the road,
it's not that.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Behave yourself. Go take a seat, man. But to be honest, once you realize, you know what? In most cases, it comes from a ghost account.
Yeah.
Just ignore them. Like, just ignore it.
But to be fair though, Corey, I feel like you were able to ignore it because you got more love than hate. First of all, the gal them loved you, and then the man them was like, like him. And then also you were in like an African-dominated cast, and you weren't African. And I felt like people were gagging for that.
Yeah.
So when it was like, he's Jamaican? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like you were at advantage. But you're right though. I feel like it was defo a family. We will fight, we'll cuss ourselves, we'll war, then we'll have a good time. Who was your favorite, obviously, other than me, like, obviously, but who was your favorite cast member to, like, maybe not necessarily have a relationship with now, but, like, that you met, that you just vibed with off the back and just thought, like.
It has to be you and Reva.
Yeah.
Instant. We was just vibes.
People, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
just
outside like team. Like team.
Yeah, other than that, everyone else was cool, but I would say us three kind of connected.
Yeah,
you know
differently.
What I mean? Yeah.
Was there an episode where you got to, no, that was her and Lucas. I was going to say it was an episode where you guys got into it, but I think that was her and Lucas.
I didn't really get into it with anyone. It's more so just telling people to take a seat. Like,
do you see what I'm saying about the energy?
Don't do too much.
And then also we knew, like, we had mutual friends as well, or a mutual friend. And I think that was even weird how that was, because I was thinking, how do you know?
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, so you went on Trend Central recently with Midday, and you spoke about, obviously I already knew because we reasoned, but you spoke about...
you was there. What do you mean we speak? He was there. You was there.
But it's so crazy hearing it back in real time, because like Backchat feels so long ago. That felt so long ago. And also, like, it made me think about... It made me think about the dynamic of our friendship when you were in jail. Because although I feel like we spoke, I don't think I ever saw you in jail. I don't think I ever came on a visit. And it made me think about some of my friends that are in prison now, feeling like self-reflection, right? Like, did you make enough of an effort? Did you understand really what was going on? Were you caught up in your own life? And it made me think, like, it kind of made me feel like that, like, you know what, you could have done more in that moment. And, like, especially knowing what happened. But I feel like, for me anyway, it got to points where I feel like, am I overstepping? Do I bring it up? Because then like, if I bring it up, am I triggering something in him?
You know what's crazy? Everyone has had that outlook. And I can tell you that's not the outlook to have. Because if everyone has that, nobody's really checks in. Nobody's checking in. So everyone's like, oh, I don't want to trigger anything. Sometimes it's needed. As a friend, it's like understanding that you're going to be there for those bad times. Things may be triggering, but guess what? I'm here to ride through it with you. You with me?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes things do need to be brought up to kind of get through them, you know?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think it's important for people to understand that, because, like, a lot of the time, like, maybe at this, especially at this, like, this current age, I'm like, if any of my friends go to jail for something that I feel like is avoidable, and I feel like I have different outlooks on it, right?
Yeah.
But I think at the point where we were, you're right. And something life-changing happened. So first I want to apologize because that is part of self-reflection that I've been doing. And I just feel like I haven't really had a moment to be like, you know what, I've thought about it and I've deeped it. So I do want to apologize, because I feel like as a friend, I know a lot of us could have done a lot more. And although, like, we write to each other and we speak on the phone, sometimes physical is needed.
No,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
And you did a bird.
I did.
You did a bird. How long was you in jail?
About 3 years.
And your sentence was 6. So yeah, you did Trend Central. Sorry, we went left, but you did Trend Central, and you spoke about finding out that your daughter wasn't yours. And obviously I know you have a daughter now, and you're maneuvering that space of, like, you know, all those emotions. I'm not going to go back onto that too heavy, because the interview's out there. You can go and check it out. It's on Trend Central. It's called Off the Record. And I think in that you go into enough depth.
Yeah.
But since doing the interview, how do you feel where you are? Like, what positives are you drawing from that situation, if any, or from talking about that publicly, if any?
I've definitely been on a journey in terms of, like, healing and kind of getting closure from it. For one thing, doing the interview I've had about now, it's probably about 7 guys get in contact with me who have gone through similar. One guy stood out to me the most, was with his partner for 12 years. All 3 of the children are not his. So it's
That's
like
crazy.
crazy. And it's like with all of these guys, none of them have done anything about it. Not in terms of going after the mum. No. In terms of themselves and doing healing. They've just bottled it up and carrying on. Some went to prison for long periods of time. Others are doing whatever they're doing. But the main thing is they're not actually talking about it. So kind of me doing that kind of opened up that bridge to at least have somebody.
Conversation.
You with me? Because I've gone through it.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
So just have those conversations. It's been cool. It's been cool.
I think that's dope. And I think one of the things that we were speaking to each other about is like understanding that people don't talk about it enough. So like we talk about deadbeat dads all the time, right? That conversation is battered and we have it all the time. But we don't talk about the women that deceive men into thinking that that is their child for however many years. And then one day just turn around and say, yeah, actually, that ain't your kid. And it's not a criminal offense, the same way it's not being a deadbeat dad. It's, at least if there's a deadbeat dad, you can get child support.
Literally.
But you can't get anything back for the time investment that you've put in. And like one thing I kind of got from the interview with you that I actually really applaud was that like there was no bitterness from you in a situation where you could really be bitter.
Yeah.
Because you actually had a relationship with that child.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like has allowed you to not be bitter? Because I think I know what makes you not be bitter. Because you sitting on them stacks.
You know what it is? It's healing. And it's understanding that you have to get to a point when you forgive somebody. You're not going to forget what's happened because it's happened and it's had a detrimental effect on me. But to start the healing process, you have to forgive.
Even without them saying sorry.
Even without them saying sorry, even to this day, I've never got a sorry. I don't need it. I'm past that point. You with me? So once you then forgive, sitting down with what's actually taken place and seeing if you can draw any positives out of it. It sounds crazy and insane, but to the people that have gone through it, I'm sure they can fathom what I'm saying. And there is positives that came out of that situation. It's understanding those and dealing with those and moving on. But how I've also seen it is me going and sitting down on Off the Record. I've kind of seen it as I'm a vessel to get this message out for the conversations to start. And that's exactly what's happened. So even if, as I said, even if it's just those 7 guys that I've touched, I'm happy.
You've done your job, yeah.
I'm happy.
And I really like reason with you and relate to you when you say like, is the healing process is the what I'm trying to say is forgiveness is for yourself. So like the last episode I was up here cackling about being divorced, and someone hit me and was like, are you not pained? Like you're actually laughing. And I said, once upon a time, 1, I couldn't laugh. But 2, like I'm not fully healed because I think healing is an everyday process, right? But I've definitely healed from where I was and I don't require an apology from that person anymore because it's for me, right?
Exactly.
And holding on to that, something that I've heard years ago is like, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Like,
I hear you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the only person it's affecting is me. Because like, bro, I've seen people get sick from carrying bitterness in their belly.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that you weren't wronged. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
It doesn't mean that you weren't wrong. So I feel you, it takes strength though. Do you recall like any specific nights in jail where you like completely just you with your thoughts and just melted down over the situation?
Yeah. I'm talking completely breaking down, bawling to the point where I'm having to turn my music up because I don't want the man them to hear me bawling. You with me? Like tissue over the flap for the man them that know. I don't need no officer peeking in. I'm bawling. Music is up. The tears are flowing. And as I said before, as soon as the door opens, what's for dinner?
That is crazy. That's so much emotions in a short space of time.
Just got to bottle it up.
Yeah. And I think like men's mental health, like, because that comes on to men's mental health, innit? It's like, you guys can do that, right? Like, or have to do that sometimes. Like, you can have those emotional moments and then afterwards it's just like, yeah, what's going on? You're right. Footy's on it. And it's like, okay, I was really having a meltdown half an hour ago.
100%.
Us, like, I'll have a meltdown and I'll come back, oh my God, like, what's happening? And water might go out afterwards. But somebody knows I had a meltdown.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
It's more so the big stigma that men don't cry. Men don't really have emotions. Don't cry, don't do this. But all of that starts from young. You see when certain dads, the way they parent their sons, it's like, toughen up. Oh, don't cry, don't do that. It starts from young, and you don't even realize what you're doing it. You're telling them those emotions that they're having, I'm clearly hurt, don't have them. Bottle that up. Firm that. You're a boy. Go on, carry on. Even though in some cases I fully hear it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to be like, ignore it, cool, it's not that deep. But in other times, it's like, I've seen it. Can't say I would do the same myself, but it's understanding that we have emotions and talking about them the same way ladies do. There's healing in that, and it stops you from being hindered.
Yeah, I agree. I fully hear you. I think that like the same way like girls are coerced to kind of be competitive at young ages, like, oh, make sure your hair's pretty. You don't want this person to jump. Like, I get you. I think your dad's also in ministry.
Yes.
How was that?
What, growing up?
Yeah. Like,
it was an experience. Church every Sunday, but also just seeing my dad up there preaching to sometimes thousands of people. Like he's traveled the world and preached to the world sort of thing. So it's really seeing that. And I believe like one thing I said to him, I think it was last year, is one thing you taught me and my sisters, I've got 3 sisters, is how to be leaders. Because one thing he's done for many a years is lead a church and be able to speak in front of hundreds, thousands, or maybe even 10 people.
Yeah.
Being able to hold a space. These are things that I've learned from him. So it's like, yeah, growing up in church was definitely an experience.
Did you feel like your dad ever wanted you to be like him?
Yeah.
He said,
him and the whole congregation.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Pastor son is a madness.
Yeah.
You're lucky you're not African, because it would have been on top of you and Joe. The whole community would have been at it. But one thing I do admire about your family though, like, I've not even met your family, but the way you speak about them and have always spoken about them, they feel like so supportive. They feel like I know you guys are very close, and I feel like your dad, from what I see of it, first of all, you and your dad are twins. I've been seeing your dad, I'm like, okay then. But you guys are like, he seemed very supportive of you in everything. And I think that that's shown itself like where you are now, because it's like, it's key, right?
Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you have totally messed up. Yes, you might have even brought me shame, but you're my son. And I feel like he's shown you that.
Exactly.
Which is amazing. You have a daughter. It's the cutest. And I know everyone's really loving your fatherhood content at the moment, but for you, it's not content. And you know what? Today, I actually had every intention to come here and say to all the deadbeat dads, go and look at Corey's Instagram. But I feel like it's really inspiring and like refreshing to see that you and your daughter are doing things that are unconventional, learn how to do her hair, like all those things. What's that been like for you, that new journey of actually having a relationship with a child, especially with the trauma? Because your daughter was conceived and your other daughter was obviously existing and you found out she wasn't. So how has that been? Is there any PTSDs, any trauma around parenting this time?
I wouldn't say there's any trauma. Remember I said about pulling positives out of a situation? A positive that's come out of that, one of them is now I dote on my daughter whenever I'm with her. This is like things like doing her hair. Why would I not learn how to do her hair?
Yeah.
That's just quality time that I can spend with her.
Yeah.
I'm out it's fingers, man.
Yeah.
Same with the hedges. You can get that done. Just takes 2 minutes. Yeah. Now, the way I do it, like I can, you know what I mean? I can...
You're going in bad. Seeing how you...
Yeah, literally.
I love that. And I think like, it's nice to see... How do you feel like... Oh, do you know, it's crazy. Because I was having this conversation with someone the other day and they were like... A guy was saying to me, he was like, none of my friends, like I can't really have a relationship with a guy who is a deadbeat because I'm an active dad.
Yes.
So we can't really reason about anything because I'm going to tell you like, no, I'm not going to Link Girl, I'm going to pick up my daughter.
Exactly.
Do you feel like that?
No. So the good thing is all of my friends are great dads.
I love that.
There isn't anybody whose behavior is a bit sketchy.
Would you call them out if it was?
Yeah, 100%. Like, think about it. With you seeing how I am and how I talk about parenting, what sort of person would I be having somebody so close to me and I'm not calling them out? But yeah, I'm trying to call out everyone who's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Because that's my problem with men. I feel like a lot of men don't hold their friends accountable. And like they kind of look at it like, oh, well, it's not my business.
Do you wanna know where I think it comes from? Potentially that initial, because there could be like an initial standoff because it could be kind of seen as confrontational. but it's all about the way you communicate that information across. If it's done in the correct way, they can see where it's coming from, a place where, listen, you're my boy, I'm looking out for you.
Yeah.
Not opposed to, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Right. Because he's going to get his back up.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of guys, I feel, probably just steer away from it. He's going to do what he's going to do.
If your friend, this is to kind of add on to your point, yeah. I saw something online the other day where someone on Twitter said something like, they were talking about domestic abuse, right? And this guy said, I don't think that a lot of black men are abusive. Nobody around me is abusive. And I said, there are. And there's so many red flags, but you've chosen to look past them because of like sometimes hood culture where like, man, them and get them are fighting and da-da-da-da-da. So it's like, oh yeah, man, they just fought. Or like you see that your friend is a manipulator. He'll manipulate different women like multiple times and you don't understand that it's psychological abuse. Do you feel like maybe not you particularly, but do you feel like the onus is still on friends in domestic abuse to be like, to speak up, or do you think that that's a little bit more techie or sensitive? Especially if you're not 100% sure that.
So my thing is, once again, it's all about how you communicate the information. It's all about how you communicate the information, because there's 1,000 ways you can say one thing. And it can also be perceived in how many different ways. Just take time, and this is called tact. Have tact with how you're going to deliver the information, because it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, facts. I agree.
Like literally. And if guys see this, they'll be like, you know what, cool, let me think about how I can start the convo, kind of soften him in. But it's a case where with things like this, I've learned this from my working background in sales.
Yeah.
So it's about understanding how to communicate properly. You with me?
Yeah.
To get the desired effect that you need, it's all about how you communicate that information.
Yeah, and I was saying to you today that you can sell water to a fish.
Listen, water to a fish, salt to a snail.
No fact.
Snow to an Eskimo.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, if you don't follow Corey online, but one of the main reasons I wanted to get him on here was because I feel like a lot of people go to jail or bad things happen, innit? Life is life. Like, it might be grief, it might be something, and they use it as a crutch to like not fight back, or as a crutch to be like, oh, you know, I got criminal records, so I can't get a job, or as a crutch. And like, you really came out of jail and said, yeah,
safe.
Yeah, watch this, and really turned it 360. So we're gonna wrap up a little bit and play a game, but just wanted you to keep moving. I just want you to just literally in a couple minutes just tell people what you do and just give us 2 gems on how you did what you did.
So I own a renovation company. 2 tips. I would say you have to think outside the box. Is one. I'm going to give you a few tips.
Yeah.
Also as well, one thing that's very, very important, it doesn't matter what profession you're in, you need to understand your clientele. Understanding your clientele is a lot more than your product. It's pretty, are they going to like it? Where do your clients shop? Where do they like to eat? Where do they like to go on holiday? What magazines you need to understand your clientele. When you understand your clientele, it's so much easier to sell to them. Why? Because it's so easy to build rapport. You know what their soft points are. You know exactly if you were to put out an ad, you know exactly where that ad needs to go. Why? Because you know where they like to go shopping. You know, are you with me? So it's like understand your clientele and you will sell the product a lot easier.
I'm about to go start a business. What's the name of your company?
Atelier Group.
Atelier Group. Where did you get that name from?
Atelier, I'll be honest with you, it was my daughter's mum that came up with the name Atelier because she said, like, when I was going through ideas, when I first came out of prison, we were together. When I was coming up with ideas, she was like, what about Atelier? It stands for like a man in his workshop crafting. And that's what I do. If I had a workshop, I'll be there tinkering. Like I'm a tinkerer.
Yeah.
You with me? So
yeah,
it's
I'll
like
be
now.
seeing you working. Yeah,
Working
it sounds
non-stop.
luxury though. I really like it. I like the name. Yeah, guys, follow Corey online. I want you guys to see like a lot of what he does, and I think it's really important to see someone who's a business owner but is also skilled and is getting to the bag, as in physically getting to the bag. So at the end of every show, this is a short episode, guys, because but at the end of every episode we do affirmations, and so like a few things that I wanted to say to you today was that I am very proud of you. I'm going to try not to get emotional. I don't really know why I feel emotional. I am very, very proud of you. I feel like you are a true representation of resilience and what it looks like to be counted out and come out on the other side and say, yeah, I'm going to get back and really do it with ease. I think that you are an amazing dad, and I pray that God continues to strengthen you in doing that, because it is not easy. As your daughter gets older, you will see that the challenges change. I think that you are doing amazing.
Thank you.
You are looking amazing. Keep stepping, pun them, keep dropping the fits, keep the content coming. And I hope that you continue to flourish. And as our friendship continues to flourish, I hope that we see different dynamics in different stages. Hopefully we're getting to your wedding, because you're a married African girl. And, we're just going to keep it going. But yeah, guys, this was episode 2 with Corey. We would play a game, but again...
Sorry.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get Corey back for another episode, and we can have a longer conversation. But I do think this has been short, but very, 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 very meaningful and to the point. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. And we'll be back with another episode. Thank you.